Warning: the opinions discussed in this video do not necessarily represent my own views. Rather, it is a rationalization and analysis of marginalized opinions. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully this doesn't lead to the premature end of this series of videos. I actually like this idea and I don't want too many angry Kozmo fans coming after me. Now, obviously I don't want to offend Kozmo players or people wanting to invest in the deck, but simply put, for what it's worth, the Kozmo deck is basically a bad investment. Now, why would I say this? Well, before I get into those reasons, I want to take a step backwards in time and explain to you guys something. You guys know me, being the historian and all that I am, I really like to reflect on the past in order to better understand the present as well as predict the future. Remember back in 2013 when Dragon Rulers and Prophecy were the two most dominant decks in the game? Well, even if you don't because you didn't play back then, I'm sure you at least have heard of these times before. My point is mentioning these two decks is that Prophecy was a far more expensive deck than Dragon Rulers. And yet, Dragon Rulers were actually the better deck as we know of. I mean, this may sound obvious to all of you, but I still have to say it. Cost obviously does not always equate to power. Now then, let's fast forward to today and see how my anecdote fits into all of this. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Just based on the prices that I saw about a week ago for Kozmos, Farm Girl is still around $50, Dark Destroyer is around $120, but has since fallen a little bit more I think. Strawman is $20, and Emergency Teleport is still around $10. This makes the deck near $700 to $800 alone, even at lowest rarities. I don't see this being worth it, even if the deck is able to last around 9 months or so. Why? Well, it's basically because there is a better deck coming around the corner, namely Performages and Pals. While we can't directly compare the two, since Kozmos are a TCG exclusive deck, it's not too difficult to pin down Performages and Pals as the better deck. How much better though? Well, that's hard to tell. But Performages and Pals is definitely better in my opinion, because of its reliance on the broken mechanic of pendulums. The TCG version of Performages and Pals won't be quite as good as the OCG variant though, as we know of now due to the lack of Pendulum Wizard, though that may change with future leaks. Also, don't forget that we have Monarchs coming soon as well, which while I think are not as good a deck as Kozmos, definitely can put up a fight against them. Basically, for their cost, Kozmos don't really deliver with their power, especially when a pretty budget deck like Monarchs are expected to be able to compete with them. Not only that, but the expected best deck of the format, Performages and Pals, is likely to only cost half as much as Kozmos. I'm not dissing on the deck or the players at all. I just think Kozmos are a very cool theme and a deck, but in a cost to power ratio analysis, the deck kind of fails. However, one last point I will make is the fact that Kozmos theoretically have one more final wave of support incoming. It will all depend on what comes out from there, but my analysis is based on just what is out right now. Simply put, a single card could render my entire analysis invalid, but we shall see when that time arrives. As of yet, I still find that Kozmos are a bad investment overall, just in a cost to power ratio analysis, especially when compared to decks like Performages and Pals, which will likely cost around $400 to $500, likely depending on how much Cyber Dragon Infinity will cost. Although it's likely not to break too much higher than $100, seeing as there's the new rarity system in Breakers of Shadow. Additionally, we have Monarchs, which is obviously the budget choice for the format, which will probably cost less than $200 and will definitely be able to compete with the top tier contenders as well. To sum up, the existence of two decks that can compete with Kozmos and may or may not be better than Kozmos themselves make Kozmos as a deck a bad investment. Now, that being said, if you want to invest in Kozmos because you like their playstyle, their art, their theme, or whatever, or just because you want to play the actual deck, that's perfectly fine. But in a pure objective analysis of power to cost ratio, Kozmos are a bad investment. That's all I'm saying. So that's pretty much it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments section below. Do you guys agree, disagree? Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you.